Hello everyone. So in this lecture, we will be looking at the strafe logic. Okay. So in our last lecture, we had finished off with the get back logic using EQS. Sorry, environmental query generator. Okay. And before we start off with the strafe uh, coding, I want you to understand a few things, basic concepts, basically, how this system, I'll be working with this system and how this strafe will work. So for strafing, I want the strafe to be a circular motion, like not exactly a circular motion, but more or less a circular motion around the player. Okay. So for that, like there are various ways you could do this, but what I think would be optimal and how I want to do it is using a few concepts, physics concepts. Okay. Uh, so now let's first see what the basic is. So let's say like this is our player character, right? So this is, let's say, our P. Let's say this is our P1, uh, that is player. Okay, or just P. Okay, per player. And then we have our enemy over here, mm, right? That is our enemy E. Okay, so now what I want this AI, I want him to move left and right, mm, left and right randomly. Okay, now this would be movement in random, but I want this movement to be circular. So how do I do it circular? By using the concept of centrifugal force, right? Now, um, what is this centrifugal force? So if you have two objects, right, and if you attach them with a rope, right, and apply a circular motion, right? Like now this player, let's say he is stationary in one spot, and you start circular motion or any motion, okay, left or right motion, uh, in a circle, uh, being the player is moving in a circle, right? uh, or rotating. Okay. So this will actually move in a circular fashion like this or like this. So and this uh, force along the string is basically the centrifugal force. Okay. Uh, but obviously, like we don't actually have a string over here, and we don't need a string over here to actually apply this logic. How we are doing it is we basically have this set focus, right? Which makes the AI look at the player at all time, right? So the enemy looks at the player at all time. Yeah. And now if I add rightward movement or leftward movement in certain spaces, right? So like let's say about 200 meters, centimeters, sorry, 200 centimeters in either side, right? He moves. Then again 200 centimeters he moves over here, right? And again on a 200 centimeters he moves over here, right? So what happens is it's not a perfect circle, but it gives the concept of movement in circular motion, right? But now this is not enough, right? Because we also want to actually check for obstacles as well along the line. So what we'll do, once we find this location, we want to do a sphere trace for objects of class pawn classes or obstacle classes or whatever uh, collision classes that we will be checking for, right? So that's also one thing. So and doing that will actually help us to actually have a very good strafing system. And also, like if there's let's say there's a wall over here, like he can't go into strafe, so we'll actually forcefully have him change to, let's say, another state where he's move to a random location near the player which is better, maybe for strafing or whatever, or change location in general. We'll probably do that as well in this lecture. Okay. depending on the length of the video. Okay, so let's get started. To do that, we have the strafe over here. I'll delete this EQS and the move to, and I'll create a task. Okay, I'll call this BTT underscore strafe, and I'll have it under the strafe task folder. Over here, I'll override the receive execute AI. Okay, and I want this AI to move a few times. Like it would be dependent on the player itself, okay, or the AI. Whatever. I guess. Yeah, you can have it on the AI. Totally up to you. Okay. So let's say movement counter. Now this would be an integer and total movement steps. Okay. Now this will be instance editable. Um. Now let's say as long as this movement counter is less than total steps, right? I want it to actually find a randomly left or right movement. So I'll create a function. So now this will take a boolean. Actually, like it will find left slash right, find left, right, move to. Okay. Now this will have an input of boolean type, right. Okay. So I'll select int. Now select float. Okay. Now if it is right, sorry, it will be 1. And if it is false, then it will be -1, that is left. So we'll do a line trace by channel. It can be visibility. Okay. We'll require the pawn reference. It's an actor class, pawn object reference. Okay. Pawn object reference. Uh, Actually, we don't need the boolean. My bad. What I'll do is I'll do a random bool. Okay. Um. No way. I'll have the right over here, because what I want to do is make a private bool again, right? And this one will be set before the movement is set. So it will be random at the very first before the counter, right? Because when we loop, we don't want it to actually start looping like that. Also, pawn reference, I'll promote this to a variable. Control pawn. Okay. And I want to make this a function as well. Strafe traces, and yeah, I'll move this over here inside this. Okay, and the right will be from here, and over here I will set this function. Strafe traces. So and we'll try to move to from the pawn. We will actually now, since we are making this as variables, I don't think we need these anymore as input variables. Now from here I will get actor location, that will be the start, and get actor right vector, and I'll multiply this and then add it to have our end location, right? Trace complex actors to ignore, make sure this should be control pawn, and debug. Now debug, I want it to be instance. Actually, yeah, just leave it. Debug, if it is true, then for duration, otherwise none. Okay. So, and by default, I'll just have it to set to true for now. Okay. Now this one will be a float, double precision. I'll promote this to a variable, and this one will be step distance. Again, this will be instance editable, and by default I'll have it as 150. Okay, basically this is the first trace that we were looking at. So when this was the enemy, right, and this is the player, right? So each step, so left and right, so I had written 200, but I'm doing 150 right now. Okay, so after 150, so this arrow is basically the trace. Okay, 150 centimeters. Okay, left or right. So this is the trace that we are doing right now. So now this one should be from false, like there should not be a hit. If it's a hit, that means we have hit a wall or something. Okay, hit something, get out. So basically we'll have it as finish execute, and it would be a success. Basically we don't want it to be a success, but for now I'll just uh, to make sure that the code does not break, I'll just step out of this function and have him do something else, wait maybe, or get back, or whatever it is. Okay, so now this is done, and once that is done, I want to do another line trace. Okay, if it is false, and this line trace would be a bit similar but not exact. Okay, now from the start, that would be the get actor location. Okay, and instead of the actor right vector, we want the get actor up vector. Okay, now this one will basically be the half height of the actor. So basically, from the pawn, you can actually get the half height from probably the AC enemy component that we have, but I'll do that as well, I guess, since we are doing it right now. I'll probably do it later on, because for now all of them are the same. So about nine, I think it's 90 half height. Half height is 90, so we'll do 100. Okay. So whatever the half height is, add a plus 10. Okay, plus 10, 20, and then do a trace again. Make sure you have these, and also what else? Now this one could be a true, right? Because there has to be a floor below, right? If there's no floor, that means it's a cliff, and obviously the player should not actually move, right? So this one will be from the true itself. Okay. If it is false, then again, probably a cliff. Okay. So finish execute. Okay. Right. And now, once that is, these are done, right? And there will be this multiply as well. Okay. Don't forget this. So basically step distance in the left or right. Um, and this is the up vector. So obviously make sure this is minus 100. So it's below, right? Not above. And what else? And after this, we need to do a sphere overlap actors, not sphere. Actually, I'll do a capsule overlap actors. And obviously it has to be whatever the hit location is, right? Whatever the hit location is, plus basically the half height that was 90, or just do 100 maybe. Yeah. And that is where we want this to be, and obviously 90 half height, and cap radius was probably 35. Check it. 35 and 90. We are doing a hard code right now for these values, but later on we will change them. Okay. Make array. So now I want to check these for pawn, physics, body, vehicles, and whatever you want them to be. Okay. I want to make sure that only the floor and the walls that I have in game would be world static and world dynamic. Other than that, I'd probably not have anything else. Okay. And actors to ignore, make, and make sure that again this is the control pawn. Now again, if it is false, right, then we want to move to function, move to AI, move to, okay. Um, yeah, okay, fine. I will have an output. This one will be a boolean, move to. Now finish execute, move to was unsuccessful, move to was unsuccessful. Anywhere else? I don't think so. And finally, if it is true, move to was a unsuccessful, and it was successful if there's nothing over here, right? So make sure that the first one is false, the second one is true, and the third one should be false again, right? For the move to, and obviously again finish execute. And from here, okay, again I cannot call it from, yes. So what I'll do is I'll have it over here, and once it is true, AI. Okay, so we have this move to location or actor. Controller is this one. So I'll also have a reference to the controller. And owner controller. Goal location. So we need to have a goal location as well. And that goal location is basically this one. Okay. Not equal to 0. Let's move to the goal location. Radius can be 5. Stop on overlap. Accept no. Respond. Yes. Yes. And yes. Okay. So on on move finished, what I'll do is I will increase this counter. Okay. Total movement steps I will have 4 by default. Okay. Increment this. And once that is done, I will make sure that custom event move again or strafe again. Okay. And I'll call that function strafe again. Okay. On move finished. So now I'll call this BTT strafe. Okay. Total steps and step distance is 150, which is good enough. And again, once it is false, I'll make sure it says finish execute so it can move to the next function. Okay. So let us go ahead and check. I'll move him all the way over here so I can check with this AI over here. It's get back. Now it's wait, and wow, it's not going to stay strafe. Okay, what's wrong? I don't think anything's wrong. It's just okay. Over here, let's just make sure he does a strafe. Okay. Now don't do anything over here. I'm just debugging over here. Okay. Don't do anything. Now he sees me. He's trying to do a strafe, and obviously the first one is fine, but after that it's invalid. Um. Okay. And again, if these are false, then finish execute, so it doesn't actually stay there. So the first one is right. I'm sorry about this. So from here, if it is false, what I want to do is from the trace end is the start, and that is basically where it where you start your next trace at. Okay. So sorry about that. So as you can see, that was 4, which is fine. The movement is correct. Now, if I'm to actually like make this strafe, like let's say 20 times, you will see it should do a circular movement kind of thing in front of me. See, now that is a circular one. See, almost. So basically, this is the kind of movement that I want for the strafe, and that is fine by me. Obviously, I'll make sure that it is 4 again, and obviously have this code back as well, get back. So now if I'm to actually have a lot of these AIs, right? Actually, wait, yeah, let's make sure like they get blocked out as well. That's also a thing. Um, yeah, let's just have it as strafe for now, so it helps us to, yeah, strafing, which is fine. Strafe again, it's waiting. Okay, fine. All right, again, my bad. Make sure once it is false, movement counter is set to 0, and finish execute. Okay, so it can actually continue strafing a second time. So as you can see, this character just stopped over there. Also, so did this character as well. So yeah, they stopped strafing. on that direction. He does not strafe because there's a wall over there. So it's basically working. So also another thing would be to make sure that they don't actually go fall to the yeah, as you can see, like he doesn't actually like try to go ahead and fall through the cliff or something like that. See, he will stop. He will not go over there because he knows he will fall down from that cliff as well. So it's a pretty good system, to be honest, for movement or strafing. Okay. Um, okay, so that is done. What else do we need in the strafing? Um, I don't think we need anything else, do we? Oh yeah, like movement. We need to slow down the movement, right? I'll do that later on. It's fine. In the next lecture, what I'll do is I'll start with the counter system. Okay, in the next lecture, so we have some action finally. Okay, so thank you guys, and I also yeah before I end the video, make sure you did not actually follow this. I'm changing it back to get back. Okay, and also yeah, that's it then. Okay, so thank you guys. And as always, if you want to support me and the work that I'm doing, you can subscribe to my Patreon. It starts from just $1 a month. Okay, and also there are different uh, tiers based on the needs of different people. Okay, so do check it out once. Thank you.